Let's all say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Today we're going to talk about the Sabbath, the Holy Shabbat.
Yes. Praise God.
The day that the Creator gave to His people that's a sign to them that they belongs to Him. And I want us to understand something. When the Creator gave the Sabbath day, He gave this day to us. And we should be happy to keep this day.
Yes.
Because the Creator kept it.
Yes.
And we should all strive to be like the Most High. And the Creator told us how to keep this day. And we should keep it just like He told us to keep it.
Yes.
So I want us to go to Genesis, the 2nd chapter. And we're going to start reading at the first verse. Notice what it says. Thus the heaven and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. The Creator had finished His work. He wasn't doing anything. He had created everything that is.
Yes.
And it says, on the seventh day, Elohim ended His work, which He had made. What does that mean? On the seventh day, He ended His work. In other words, when the seventh day came in, He was finished.
Yes.
He was through with everything. And He rested on the seventh day from all His work,
Yes.
which He had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it He had rested
Yes.
from all His work, which Elohim created and made. The Creator gave the example of what we should be doing. When the Sabbath day come in, we should be finished doing anything pertaining to work. The Most High let us know we have 6 days to do whatever we want to do.
Thank you, Father. Yeah.
So we don't have to work on the Sabbath day. The only reason we work on the Sabbath day is because we choose to. And if you are sincere and you happen to have a job that have you working on the Sabbath day, the Creator will find you another job. I know, I'm a witness. I can remember being on a job, and I had just came into this way of life, and they told me I had to work on the Sabbath day. And I went to my supervisor and I told him, I said, look, the scriptures tell me I can't work on the Sabbath day. So I'm having problems. Well, you're going to have to come in. So whenever the Sabbath day came in, I called in. And after I kept on calling in, they brought me to the office and I said, well, I told you I can't work on the Sabbath day. And they ended up cutting out us working on the Sabbath day altogether. So I know the Creator will make a way if you're sincere. So the Creator tells us in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, in the 3rd verse, 6 days shall work be done. 6.
6 days.
You got 6 days to do whatever you want to do. All the Creator asks you for is just one day. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. It's a day of rest and it's a holy convocation. It's a holy gathering. It's a coming together. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of Yah in all your dwellings.
Yes.
I don't care where you're located, it's still the Sabbath day. And then you have people saying, well, how you know it's the Sabbath day? The same way you know it's Sunday. The same way you know it's Monday. Because we learn from history. You know, out of all the things that they done tried to change, they done changed the years, they done changed the months, they done changed everything. The only thing that they haven't changed has been the Sabbath. It's still going to come every 7 days. I don't care how you do it. So all we got to do is just look at what the Creator tells us. And look at what our forefathers did and how the Creator told Moses to tell the children of Israel what they must do when the Creator was feeding them. Look at what the Creator tells us in Exodus, the 16th chapter. And we're going to start reading at the 11th verse. It says, Yah spake unto Moses, saying, now who doing the talking here?
Yeah.
Yah doing the talking. So this ain't what man said, this ain't what Moses said. This is what Yah said. I have heard the murmuring of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread. And ye shall know that I am Yah, your Elohim. So the Creator is letting them know, look, since you complaining about you eating, I'm going to feed you at night. I'm going to give you flesh to eat. And in the morning, I'm going to give you bread to eat. And it's saying, it came to pass that at evening the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoar frost on the ground. Real small. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is mine. In other words, they said, what is it? Just like when we see something we don't know, like, what is it? And that's what they were saying. What is it? For they wished not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which Yah has given you to eat. Hallelujah. And this is the thing which Yah has commanded. Now this is what the Creator told them concerning that food that he gave them to eat. Gather of it every man according to his eating, and omer for every man according to the number of your person. Take ye every man for them which are in his tent. And the children of Israel did so and gathered, some more, some less. And when they did meet, or when they measured it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And that's something that we need to take in consideration. I know I do, because I don't eat according to my eating. I eat till I get tired. And maybe I need to eat according to my eating. Maybe I lose some weight. That's just me. I'm the biggest somebody up in here, so I can say that. And Moses said, let no man leave of it until the morning. In other words, he said, don't keep it overnight. Now, to me, that's pretty direct. Gather it, eat all you want that day, but when night comes, don't let it lay. Be through with it. When the morning come in, be through with it. But guess who we are? We are Israel. You think we paid attention to what the Creator told Moses to tell them? Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left it until the morning. and it bred worms and stank, and Moses was wroth with them. Moses got upset because the people don't want to listen.
Yes.
No, we don't.
And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. When the sun was at its highest, when noon came, it was over. And it came, and this is what I want you to look at. And it came to pass that on the sixth day, pay attention. On the sixth day, they gathered how much?
Twice.
Twice as much. So when the sixth day came in, you should have been getting enough to last you that night and that next day, which
Yes.
was the Sabbath. You should have done cooked everything. You should have done prepared everything
Yes.
on that sixth day. 2 almost for one man, and all the rulers. And it came to pass on the sixth day that they gathered twice as much bread, 2 almost for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came to and told Moses. Now, you ever notice in class how some people pay attention and some people don't pay attention? Here you had the people who listened to Moses doing exactly what Moses said.
Yes.
But you had the leaders, the people who was in charge, they had forgot. Or they didn't understand. Because they came to Moses complaining about the people who was preparing twice as much on the sixth day. And listen what he said. And he said unto them, this is that which Yah has said. Tomorrow. Did you notice what it said? It didn't say tonight.
Okay.
It's the Sabbath. Because this is the sixth day. He said tomorrow, which means the next day, in the morning, however you want to put it, it's the Sabbath. It says tomorrow is the rest of the holy Shabbat unto Yah. Bake that which you will bake when? Today. Why? Because tomorrow is going to be the Sabbath. And see it that which you will see it, or boil that which you're going to boil, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning. That which you're going to cook, you can keep that until in the morning. Because that's when the Sabbath day is going to come in.
Yes.
And they laid it up till the morning. And Moses bathed, and it did not stink, neither was there any worms therein. Why? Because at night, he said, don't keep it until the morning. But this time, you can let it stay overnight. In the morning, it's not going to stink on that seventh day. And Moses said, eat that today. Now, you can eat that which you cooked yesterday. You can eat that today. For today is a Sabbath unto Yah.
Yes.
Today ye shall not find it in the field. Don't even go out there looking for it, because you're not going to find it in the field.
Hallelujah.
6 days ye shall gather it. But on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none.
Yes, yes.
You're not going to find any.
Yes.
And it came to pass, because you know we are not going to listen.
No, we don't.
And it came to pass that there went what? Out some of the people on the what? Seventh day. Hard-headed. We don't want to listen. They went out on the Sabbath day for the gather, and they found none. And Yah said unto Moses, how long refuse you to keep my commandments and my law? How long are you going to refuse to keep the law? Because keeping the Sabbath day is the law.
Hallelujah.
See, for that Yah has given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place, and let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. What is the Creator saying? You got some people, because they read this, they saying that the Creator say stay in your houses. No. What the Creator is saying, don't go out in the field and gather anything on the Sabbath day. Stay in your place.
Praise my God for the truth.
The Creator, how you going to stay in your houses and you're supposed to have a convocation?
Yes.
Praise God for the truth.
We have to understand Scripture. So the people rested on the 7th day. And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed, white. And the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. The Creator let us know what we have to do. He let us know. And to show you that a day starts when it's light and not when it's dark, just think about it. This white man will tell you that a day starts at midnight.
Yes.
In the middle of the night, it's a brand new day. People going to work, say good morning. People leaving, say y'all have a good night. That's the way we think. And then you got this Jewish boy, which a lot of our people are following. They say a day start in the evening. They start in the evening and they go to the next evening. But let's look at what the scriptures say. Let's call a day like the Creator told us to call a day. Let's go to Genesis, the 1st chapter. And we're going to start at the 1st verse. It says, in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Now, when they see that darkness, they see that darkness was there first. What is this called? Creation, right? Now, let's look at what the Creator created first. He said, and the spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the water. And what is the first thing the Creator said? And Elohim say what? Let there be light. And there was light. The first thing he created was the light. Now, if it was light, it had to have been a morning. And then if it was light, it had to have been an evening.
Yes.
So he said, Elohim saw the light, that it was good. In the morning, and Elohim divided the light from the darkness. He divided the light from the darkness. Now watch what he's saying. And Elohim called the light what?
Day.
So when the Creator tells you to keep the Sabbath day, he's telling you to keep the light. He ain't telling you to keep the night, because the darkness he called night. And notice what he said. The evening and the morning were the first day. You know why? Because you don't count a day until it's ended. If you got a child, if a child is born on this day, you're not going to say he's a year old today. You're not going to say he's a year old to next year this time. So you're not going to count a day until that day ended. The day can't come in and then I say, this is the first day. No, this day hasn't ended yet. When he said morning, we know that morning ended that first day.
Yes.
but it also begin a day. But that day is not going to end till the morning comes.
Praise God for the truth. Hallelujah.
The Most High's word is truth.
Yes.
Now I'm going to show you in the scriptures that it's a difference in when you keeping the Creator's 7-day Sabbath. And let's look at the Sabbath that the Creator kept in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Let's look at how the Creator kept this day and what he told us about this day. To show you that it's a difference between the regular 7-day Sabbath and the Sabbath that you keep on the Day of Atonement. Two different Sabbaths. In Leviticus, the 23rd chapter and the 26th verse, it's saying, Yah spake unto Moses, saying, also on this 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be unto you, it shall be an holy convocation unto you.
Yes.
And ye shall afflict your soul and offer an offering made by fire unto Yah. And ye shall do no work in that same day. What day is he talking about? The 10th day. And he said, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before Yah, your Elohim.
Yes.
For whatsoever soul it be, that shall not be afflicted in that same day. What day is he talking about? That 10th day, the Day of Atonement. He shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be, that doeth any work in that same day. What day is he talking about? The 10th day. That same soul will I destroy from among his people. And ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation in all your dwellings. This is a statute forever in all of your dwellings.
Yes.
Now watch this. This is the verse that I want you to see. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest. On this 10th day, you are to have a Sabbath of rest. And ye shall afflict your soul. Listen to what it says. In the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall you celebrate your Sabbath. Your Sabbath is to be celebrated from the 9th day to the 10th day. But the Day of Atonement is still the 10th day. It's just your rest is from evening to evening. These are two separate Sabbaths. They are not the same. What our people do, we follow Judaism. We don't follow Yahweh.
Wow.
Two separate things. We have to serve the Creator the way the Creator wants us to serve him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at what Exodus tells us. In Exodus, the 20th chapter, and we're going to start reading at the 8th verse. The Creator tells us to remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. This day is holy to Yah. It's holy to us. And we have to keep it the way the Most High tells us to keep it.
Yes.
He says, 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yah thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughters, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. Nobody is to do any work. For in the 6th day, for in 6 days y'all made the heaven and earth,
Yes.
the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore y'all blessed the 7th day and hallowed it. The Creator hallowed the Sabbath for us. He made it holy for us.
Yes.
So the Creator tells us in Leviticus 19 and verse 30, He let us know what we should be doing, how we should do this day. He said in Leviticus 19 and 30, ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary.
Yes.
I am Yah.
Hallelujah.
So the Most High tells us how He wants us to do it. This Sabbath day is to be observed. You know, you hear a lot of people say, well, you know, you can't keep the Sabbath day in this land. This land is unclean. You mean to tell me I just have to work on the Sabbath? I just have to go out and do things that the Creator tells me not to do? No, I don't have to. I choose to, but I don't have to. Somebody might say, well, I'm hungry and I don't have nothing to eat. Well, you should have prepared on the 6th day.
Yes.
You don't have to go out. That'll be a day you fast. We come up with excuses to break the law.
Shall do.
But the Creator tells us what we must do. In Exodus, the 35th chapter, He let us know that the Sabbath is to be observed. In Exodus 35 and verse 1. And I want you to understand what had taken place in this particular scripture. Moses had been up on the mountain talking to the Most High. And he had finished talking to the Most High, and the Most High gave him his laws. And Moses had came down off the mountain, and his face was shining. Now, he had the law in his hand. But you know the first thing that Moses taught about? It wasn't a law. It was the Sabbath day. Because he wanted the people to understand how important the Sabbath was. And I want you to understand how important the Sabbath is to the nation of Israel. Because that's the only sign that we have. That's the only thing the Creator gave us to let us know we belong to Him.
Hallelujah.
It says in the first verse, and Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which Yah has commanded that you should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy convocation.
Yes.
An holy day, rather. A Sabbath of rest to Yah. Whosoever doeth any work therein shall be put to death. Anybody that do, this is how important this day is to the Creator. No, we're not going to kill anybody, but you got to worry about the Creator. Because He's killing people every day.
Yes.
He said, ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day. Don't go out and decide you want to put some food in the microwave. Well, I ain't cooking it. I'm just warming it up. You're killing the fire. For food, when you could have prepared.
Praise God, yeah, for the truth.
We come up with excuses to break the Sabbath.
Yes, yes.
But this is our sign that we belong to God.
Yes.
Go to Exodus 31. We read it every Shabbat. In Exodus 31 and verse 12, it says, "And Yah spake unto Moses, saying," and I want you to see something in this scripture because it's really beautiful. We read it, but when you read the whole chapter, you find out something.
Hallelujah.
That the Creator was talking to Moses about the Sabbath day before he gave him the commandments.
Yes, yes.
It says, "Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths you shall keep. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generation, that you may know that I am Yah that doeth sanctify you."
Hallelujah.
This is the sign.
Yes,
Just like Christianity, those people who go to church on Sunday, you know they're Christian. Those who go to worship on Fridays, you know they're Muslim. So the Sabbath day is a sign for me and you that we follow Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off
Yes.
from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to Yah. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
Yes, yes.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generation for a perpetual covenant. This is a perpetual covenant, a continuation, a never-ending covenant.
Hallelujah.
It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. Can anybody tell me how long forever is?
Ever.
Can somebody tell me when forever ends?
No end.
Ain't no end.
No end.
So if it ain't no end, then that means we should be doing it now. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed.
Hallelujah.
Now this 18th verse really fascinated me because the Creator said a whole lot right here to let you know how important the Sabbath day is. It said, "And he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai." After he had got through talking to him about the Sabbath day, listen to what the Creator did. 2 tables of testimonies, tables of stone written with the finger of God.
Yes.
After he had finished explaining the Sabbath.
Yes, yes.
This is how important this day is to the Most High. So we can't say that because we in America and this is a polluted land, we can't keep the Sabbath day, or we decide that we want to keep the Sabbath day the way we want to keep it.
Yes, yes. Sure enough, you're
The
right.
Creator gave us a guideline on how to keep the Sabbath.
Yes.
He says a day of rest, and it's a holy convocation. Now think about it. You done worked all week. And from sun up to sundown, you up praising the Most High. And then tomorrow you got to go to work. How long you think you can make it? Because the Creator made us human. And our bodies need what?
Rest.
And you think about our forefathers. They wasn't sitting at a computer like we are today. And we trying to stay woke at the computer. They was working in the sun. in the cold, whatever. And you just think about, we can't stay woke sitting in office, drinking coffee all day, taking no-nos, trying to stay woke. Your body has to have rest. Look at Exodus, the 34th chapter and 21st verse. And the Creator tells us, you don't care what time of the season it is, when the Sabbath day come in, even if the weatherman tell you that it's going to rain and flood out your crops on the first day of the week, you still don't go out there on the Sabbath day picnic. He tells us in Exodus 34 and 21, 6 days thou shalt work. But on the 7th day, thou shalt rest. In earing time and in harvest, thou shalt rest. I don't care whether you're planting or you're gathering. The Creator wants you to rest.
Yes.
Because our bodies need that. And we all have heard this story about the man going out, picking up sticks on the Sabbath day. When the Creator say, no work, that's what he means. Now, the thing about this man is, they was in the presence of the Creator when he went out. Now, if it had just been Moses and, and the people, they might have had sympathy for him. But you know what Moses did? Moses didn't look there, well, I believe that we should kill him, or I believe that we should let him go. But this is what Moses did. Moses said, let's take it to the Creator. And let's find out what the Creator says. In Numbers, the 15th chapter, in the 32nd verse. It says, while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. Even the people that found him, they didn't go out there and kill the man because they found him out there. They brought him to Moses and Aaron. And they put him in war. They locked him up. They put him in prison or in a place where they can keep an eye on him. Because it was not declared what should be done to him. They didn't know what they had to do. Because this man was picking sticks up on the Sabbath day. And Yah said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. Yah said, not Moses, not the elders, not the leaders, but Yah said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stone without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stone, and he died as Yah commanded Moses. He did exactly what Yah commanded Moses. That's what they did.
Yes.
And then you got some people determined to go out and buy stuff on the Sabbath day. I'm a buy it. I don't care. I'm a buy it. If I get hungry, I'm gonna go get it.
Yes.
If I need me some gas, I'm gonna go get it. Not mind you now, they could have got the gas on the 6th day. But they gonna wait, okay, well, here's the 7th day, I ain't got enough, so I think the Creator forgive me this time. I'm going to Shabbat service. So I just go and get it this time. He'll forgive me. What did he do to that man with that stick? He got him the stick? Be guilty. All right. So if you have an accident, you know, don't say, I ain't did nothing. Why he do me like this? You know how we'll get.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have people around here talking, I thought he was a holy person. And he need to go, them folks need to go back to church. But they don't know what all you've been doing. Look at Nehemiah, the 10th chapter, in the 31st verse.
Yes, yes.
It says, if the people of the land bring anything that they have they trying to sell, or individuals are on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath day or on the holy day. Nehemiah and them had just come back in the land. And they was trying to establish that they wasn't going to buy anything from the people of the land, or from nobody that was trying to sell and buy on the Sabbath day. And that's what we in the midst of some wicked people. So we should not be trying to act like the wicked. We should be doing the opposite of what they do. You find more people out on the Sabbath day buying and selling than any other day. Matter of fact, they have some of their best sales on the Sabbath day, trying to entice you to come out there. But we should be resistant. And saying they would leave the 7th year in the exaction of every day. So here they had made up in their mind that they wasn't going to buy anything from anybody on the Sabbath day. But of course, just like anything, the people didn't want to listen. They had made the agreement, but the people of the land didn't want to listen. And guess what? When they came in there trying to sell, guess what the people of Israel began to do? They began to buy from them too. So let's look at what Nehemiah and them, because Nehemiah and them didn't play. But Nehemiah and them would, you know, they would whoop some behind. You know, they ain't like, you know, our brothers and sisters, they turning the other cheek, you know, talking about, I'm going to love you no matter what. No. Nehemiah say, hey, you do it again, we're going to have a serious misunderstanding. I'm going to put my hands on you. And you ain't going to like it if I put my hands on you. And if we want to be like the Most High and keep the Sabbath day the way the Most High kept it, then we have to have that same attitude. So look at what is said in Nehemiah, the 13th chapter, and the 15th verse. It says, in those days, Sar and Yehuda, some treading wine presses on the Sabbath day, and bringing in sheaves and laden asses, and as also wine and grapes and figs and all manner of burden, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. Here, Nehemiah and them saw people that was bringing in all kinds of merchandise to sell, figs and grapes and all kinds, just had their donkey just laid over with merchandise to sell to the people. So Nehemiah and them warned them, say, look, don't be bringing that in on the Sabbath day. And he said, there dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath day unto the children of Yehuda and in Jerusalem. See, the children of Israel began to buy from these people. Then I contended with the nobles of Yehuda. He went to the leaders, to the elders. and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day? Did not your fathers thus, and did not our Elohim bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath day. You bring more by not keeping the Sabbath. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath. Now, that's something I want everybody to understand right there. It was evening right before it got dark, but yet it wasn't the Sabbath. It says before the Sabbath, letting you know that evening does not start another day. It does not start the Sabbath. Let me read it again. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark, which means it's evening, before the Sabbath. So evening does not start another day. He said, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be open till after the Sabbath. He commanded that the gates of Jerusalem not be open until the Sabbath ended. And some of my servants set out at the gates, that there should no burdens be brought in on the Sabbath day. He put out guards to make sure that nobody brought in anything to sell on the Sabbath day. So the merchants and the sellers of all kinds of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. They did it once or twice. They stayed outside the gate once or twice, buying and selling. He said, then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the walls? Why are you out here? If you do so again, I will lay hand on you. If you do it again, I'm going to whoop your behind. I'm going to lay hands on you. And it wasn't praying for him. And he said, from that time forth, came they no more on the Sabbath. They got that understanding. When he threatened to whoop they behind, they got a clear understanding. Oh, you mean don't come out here at all? Why didn't you say that at first? And he said, and I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Sabbath day. And then he said, remember me, O Yah, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy. Nehemiah is saying, look, remember me for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the right thing.
Yes.
I'm trying to make sure that the people are doing the right. Look at Jeremiah, the 17th chapter. Because this Sabbath day has to be holy.
Yes.
And if we keep it holy, you won't be going out getting a fish sandwich. Look at what the Creator tells us in Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, and the 21st verse. Thus says Yah, take heed to yourselves, and bear no burdens on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Don't bear any burdens. Don't bring anything trying to sell or buy on the Sabbath day. Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses, Don't even take it out of your houses on the Sabbath day. Neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the Sabbath day, as I commanded your fathers. Do it just like I told your father. But you know how we are. But they obeyed not, neither inclined their ear, but made their neck stiff, that they might not hear nor receive instruction. And it shall come to pass, if ye diligently hearken unto me, says Yah, to bring in no burdens through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but hallow the Sabbath day, to do no work therein. Hallow the Sabbath day, make it holy. Then shall there enter into the gates of this city kings and princes sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses. And they and their princes, the men of Yehudah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And this city shall remain forever. The Creator said Jerusalem would have remained forever if they had kept the Sabbath day.
Yes.
If. Notice it didn't last forever, because where we are. we in captivity here in America. And they shall come from the cities of Judah, and from the places about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plains, and from the mountains, and from the south, bringing their burnt offering and sacrifices and meat offering and incense, and bringing sacrifices of praise unto the house of Elohim. But if you would not hearken, if you won't listen unto me to hallow the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched. The Creator destroyed us as a nation by taking us out of our own land. And think about this, we don't even know who we are. We don't even know where we came from. And you know the sad thing is, even the people that's in Africa, a lot of them don't know where they came from. All they can tell you the journeys that they took. They know they came from North Africa, but they don't know exactly where.
Yes.
This is the kind of blinders that the Creator has put on us as a people. Because we rejected the Sabbath day. We rejected the Most High. But even if you don't know who we are, but I know who I am.
Me too.
But even if you don't know, there's still help for you. Even if you don't know. Look at Isaiah, the 56th chapter. There's help. In Isaiah 56 and verse 1, it says, thus says Yah, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Listen to what the Creator says. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that laid hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it. Let me read that again. That keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil.
Yes.
How do you keep from doing evil? By following the law of the Creator. Because the only way we know what's wrong is by following the law.
Oh, yes.
It says, neither let the son of the stranger, even if you're a stranger, if you don't know who you are, and you think you're a Gentile, but I want you to know the Gentiles are white. He say, neither let the son of a stranger that has joined himself to Yah speak, saying, Yah has utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. The Creator say, look, I don't even want the stranger to think that he can't have a part of me. Because see, we are the light of the world. We're supposed to bring everybody to the Most High.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
He say, for thus says Yah unto the eunuch that keep my Sabbaths and choose the things that please me and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a place and a name better than sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. The Creator said that the eunuch going to take on his Sabbath and keep his covenant. He said he'll give him a name just like sons and daughters. He said also the strangers that join themselves to Yah to serve him and to love the name of Yah, to be his servant. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and take hold of my covenant, even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offering and their sacrifice shall be accepted upon my altar. For my house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. The Creator say his house of prayer is for all people. So if you want to take on the ways of Yah, the Creator will accept you.
Yes.
Even if you think you're not Israel. Now everybody that say they're Israel is not Israel. But if you take on the ways of Israel, the Creator gonna accept you. And say, Yah Elohim which gathered the outcast of Israel, yet will I gather others unto him. The Creator say, the Creator let us know that the same one that gathered Israel is going to gather others. Beside those that are gathered unto him. The Creator is going to gather others. It's not just going to be Israel. But we have to learn how to keep this day holy. Look at Isaiah 58. Do we understand how to keep the day holy?
Yes.
In Isaiah the 58th chapter, 13th verse, it say, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath of delight, holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways, not finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own mind. This day is holy. You say, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yah, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob, thy father. For the mouth of Yah has spoken.
Hallelujah.
The Creator let us know that this day is holy.
Yes.
And if you take hold of it, how can you go wrong? Now this is what I want you to do. This is what I want all of you to do. I want you to consider the things that I have said. You got to outline, study it, and consider it. Look at what the Creator tells us. In Exodus 23 and verse 12. It says, 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest, that thine ox, thine ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. And the Creator tell us in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, carefully consider it, think about it and make no mention of the names of other deities.
Hallelujah.
Neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. So on this holy day, don't call on JC. Call on the name of Yah.
Praise God.
That's how we have to do it.
Yes, yes.
If you do it like that, then you can make it. But if you don't, if you don't consider everything that I've said, then I want you to consider this. Go to Ezekiel. This is what I want you to consider. If you can't consider the other stuff that I've told you. In Ezekiel, the 20th chapter, and we're going to start reading at the 10th verse. It says, wherefore, I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt and brought them into the wilderness. We know that the Creator took us out of the land of Egypt.
Yes.
By great signs and great wonders. And I gave them my statutes and showed them my judgment. If a man do, he should even live in them. He said, moreover, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between them, between me and them, that they might know that I am Yah, that sanctified them.
Yes, yes.
The Creator said he gave it to us for a sign. But look at what you did. It say, but the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. In the wilderness, the children of Israel rejected the Creator. In my Sabbaths, they greatly polluted. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. And the only reason the Creator didn't destroy them totally is because if he had destroyed Israel, he would have destroyed his name.
Right.
He said, but I wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted before the heathen, in whose sight I brought them out. If he didn't want to destroy his name, he would have took us out.
Yes.
Because it was the Creator that gave Jacob the name Israel. He said, yet also I lifted up my hands unto them in the wilderness, that I would not bring them into the land which I had given them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all land. And the Creator wouldn't allow those who came out of Egypt to go into the promised land. Because when they went and spied out the land, what did they do? They got scared. They seen all of the people. They said, man, these folks are giant in the land. We're going to go in there, they're going to kill us. They didn't have faith in the Almighty that he would deliver them. So the Creator wouldn't allow them to go into the promised land. He said, because they despised my judgment and walked not in my statutes, but polluted my Sabbath, for their hearts went after their idols. He said, nevertheless, my eyes spared them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness. But I said unto their children, this is what the Creator did. He chose the children. You know, sometimes a generation, you just have to let them go and start on the next one. And that's what the Creator did.
Oh, yeah.
He just said, forget about this generation. We just gonna start and work on the next generation.
Hallelujah. Praise God.
He said, nevertheless, my eyes spared them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness, but I said unto their children in the wilderness, walk ye not in the statutes of your father. Don't be like your father. Neither observe their judgment, nor defile yourselves with their idols. Don't call on their deities. Don't call on JC. Don't call on the deities that they are calling on. Call on the name of Yahweh. The one that the white man don't want you to call on, that's the one you need to be calling on. He said, I am Yah, your Elohim. Walk in my statutes and keep my judgments and do them. And hallow my Sabbaths, and they shall be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am Yah, your Elohim.
Yes.
Notwithstanding, you know when you see a word like that, look out. The children rebelled against me. They walked not in my statutes, neither kept my judgments to do them. Which if a man do, he shall even live in them. They polluted my Sabbath. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them, to accomplish my anger against them in the wilderness. The Creator said, I'm just going to destroy these people. Nevertheless, I withdrew my hand and wrought for my name's sake, that it should not be polluted in the sight of the heathen, in whose sight I brought them forth. If the Creator didn't want his name to look bad, we would have been gone a long time ago. We would have never went through this right here.
That's right.
He said, I lifted up my hand unto them also in the wilderness, that I would scatter them among the heathens and disperse them through the countries. The Creator said, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take these people, I'm just going to scatter them all over the countries. And the thing about it, he didn't do it then, but he done did it now. That's all over the world, through the four corners of the earth.
Yes.
He said, because they have not executed my judgment, but had despised my statutes, and has polluted my Sabbath. Because you have done this, and their eyes was after their father's idols. Wherefore, I gave them also statutes that was not good, and judgments whereof they should not live. Because we rejected the Creator's Sabbath, the Creator done gave us things that we cannot live by. Think about the New Testament. You got to love your enemies. How many chickens will you have if he loved the fox? You got to pray for those who despitefully use you. Somebody hit you on the right cheek, you turn to him the left cheek, and they'll be beating you to death. To say if somebody kidnap you and take you a mile, you got to go to him twain. In other words, if somebody kidnap you and make you a slave and they decide to set you free, no, I just want to stay with you. You can't live by statutes like that, but that's what he got you doing. You forgiving everybody but your own people.
All right.
Loving everybody but your own self.
All right.
Doing everything that the Creator said you was going to do, you're doing it.
Forgive us, yeah.
But yet we can't see it. Because the Creator going to put these blinders on us. We are blind. Can't see nothing. But this is the thing. I don't care what nobody else say, but this is what I say. I'm going to say it just like the Creator said. Look at Psalms, the 118th again, about this day. He said, this is the day that Yah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Hallelujah.
May the Creator bless you and keep you. Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
Hallelujah!
Let's all lift up our voice and shout, hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.